recording. So let's quickly go into what's coming your way. My team live and team replay, whoever is watching this in a replay, because there are a lot of newcomers who will be getting, who have requested for a replay access. So welcome all team live and team replay to this virtual coffee chat. With this coffee chat basically originated from an idea where I delivered access, one of a leading settlement agencies here in Canada. I did a webinar for recently landed newcomers and pre-arrival immigrants around LinkedIn profile optimization. Then after that, a lot of newcomers, all of the audiences started communicating with me on LinkedIn, and they had so many unanswered questions. And because of the time limitation, I wasn't able to answer the questions. So that's where the idea originated in my head, that let's have a virtual coffee chat, because a lot of newcomers were asking the same questions. So I was like, let's create a platform where I can record and give answers to frequently asked questions, because as a community, I just wanted to let you know that you're not alone. There are similar like-minded newcomers to Canada, pre-arrival immigrants who is walking through the same path. So you're not alone here. There are a lot of other like-minded newcomers, and in a pre-arrival immigrant pre-event email, I'll be sending out 2 private Facebook communities which I host, where I have similar like-minded newcomers, and in that community hub, you can be a part of that community hub. You can throw in questions, and we have experienced newcomers there who are willing to answer your questions. So wherever in your journey, if you get stuck regarding career guidance and job search, these groups are highly targeted towards career guidance and job search goals. So you can definitely throw in a question in that private Facebook community, and you will definitely get an answer. So I just wanted to tell you that you are not alone. People are here walking through the same path, and there are people who are willing to help you. So you can be a part of this private Facebook community. The links will be coming to you in a pre-event email. So the idea for today's session is, first of all, definitely I've talked about this in my Access webinar as well. Majority of the attendees over here might be from the Access webinar, but there are some who are not, and this is my first interaction with them. So I always start my any virtual coffee chat or any chat with newcomer that you are basically coming in a new environment. So it's like even if you move within the city to a new neighborhood, it's a new environment for you. You have to unlearn few old things, and you have to learn few new things to adapt to the local environment. So be ready to grow, evolve and adapt, and you have to be more resilient in specifically nowadays, is because of COVID-19 situation. As a newcomer, not only you're embracing Canada as a new land, you're embracing Canada pre-COVID-19 situation. So it might not be the same way that you might have experienced in origin country. So you have to unlearn a lot of things to learn new things. So be ready to be a friend of fear of unknown, because when you get out of your comfort zone, which you have already, like taking the decision to come in a new land is out of getting your comfort zone. So you are already a resilient person to take that leap of faith. But here you need to be conscious about unlearning, learning, trying new things, and you will definitely learn and evolve. Okay, a little bit about me. My name is Khatija Qureshi. I am basically an online social media consultant and an online trainer who helps corporate brands and professional brands to shine online with their corporate or personal brand in a very, very authentic and genuine way. So I have won an award as well using LinkedIn for social good. I have been on LinkedIn since 2017, so I basically knows the ins and outs of how you can use your LinkedIn profile, and specifically free version of your LinkedIn profile. Premium version have its own great advantages, but I have experimented a lot with the free version of LinkedIn on how you can work around things to come in front of the right audiences and opportunities. opportunities. And I have walked through the same path as you. I landed in Canada in 2016, and since then it has been an amazing journey because I leveraged LinkedIn in a very unthinkable way. I have connected with the right people at the right time, which has really boosted my career. So I worked here for a year in a local company, and then I took the leap of faith. I did my certification for University of Toronto, and I run my own company right now. Also, I offer online counseling, online coaching and online courses as well to newcomers to Canada and transitional job seekers on how to use LinkedIn in an intentional way. The whole idea of my propagation of my content that I create on LinkedIn is that everybody needs to be intentional in their journey. You cannot be aimless wanderers either on LinkedIn or any other goal in life. You need to be really very intentional because we all have limited resources, energy, time, most importantly, and you want to make sure that whatever efforts you're putting in, it's towards that goal. Those of you who are new and who are seeing it's our first interaction, I just wanted to say that LinkedIn is the right platform because right now you have 16 million Canadian professionals on this platforms, and recent numbers have shown that the professionals have increased their presence on LinkedIn during COVID-19 situation. So right now, pre-arrival immigrants who are in a lockdown situation, the recently landed new immigrants, again at their homes, they can use this amazing platform to catch the attention of Canadian professionals very, very intentionally. And this is such a beautiful platform. It's just the right platform where the features are such beautiful that you will not find in any other platform, which will help you elevate your professional goals and which definitely will be to get your first job here in Canada. So just to share some facts with you, recruiters here in Canada look for talent on LinkedIn. They use LinkedIn as a modus operandi to search for right talent. And also as a part of the recruitment evaluation process, your LinkedIn profile, your post and your engagement activity is vetted. Recently in one of my courses, I invited a recruiter, a talent acquisition manager, and she clearly said that as a part of the process, they go to LinkedIn profile and they do vet all the activity, the LinkedIn profile, the post and engagement activity that you do with other people. So that's why your presence on LinkedIn needs to be very intentional, very, I wouldn't say calculated, but very intentional. In what step? Because what you say and what you do on online activities on social media generally can be vetted by anyone, let alone be recruiters. So you need to be really, really careful. LinkedIn is now beyond job hunting and listing. It is now a platform where professional people are coming to create their online personal brand, to create that online presence. So let's take an example of Miras. Miras is basically a rookie, she's a newbie on LinkedIn, and just like any newcomer to Canada, she is a newcomer to Canada and very, very new to LinkedIn. So as I said, I want all of you to consider yourself Miras, and Miras is very clear with the objective that how she wants to use LinkedIn. She has two objectives. First, she wants to be perceived as a trusted authority in whatever job title she's targeting for. She wants to send out clear signals to her target audience that I am the right person that you need to recruit for this job title. So this she can do by creating a perception that she's the trusted authority and they need to get her. So basically she is bringing her professional awesomeness in front of the recruiters rather than saying that I am a job seeker. So she's convincing the other party to hire her by talking about her awesomeness. And that's exactly what I want newcomers to lead with on LinkedIn, to lead with your professional awesomeness by marketing yourself with relevant skills, experiences, and credentials. So a second objective is that also to build network and advance career in her space on LinkedIn. So for example, say that she wants to be a brand manager in a CPG field. So so that is her objective, and she wants to connect and network with the right people in this space. So these are the two clear objectives. Now, what tactics is she's using, and this is what what I tell and teach and coach, is that you need to have first a very optimized and clean LinkedIn home, which is your LinkedIn profile. I will be talking about this later as well. Second thing is that after you have your home ready, like you have the paintings, you have the furniture, everything ready, like every section ready, you need to create content. The post that you create, the article that you create needs to be around the job title that you are targeting for. So with these two steps, basically what you are doing is that to be perceived as trusted authority, first of all, by beefing up your work skills, recommendations, and all other sections, you're talking about your yester experiences. Through step two, you are not you are elevating that perception that yes, we have achieved these credentials, but by commenting and writing an article and post, you are saying that you can walk the talk, you know the intricacies of this space that you are targeting, this job title that you are targeting. Then the second objective of Meeras is to network with the right people who will help her get this job title. So she grow with intentionally the network in that industry specific space, and she's nurturing and nurturing her relationship and building a repo in a very organic way. Remember, on LinkedIn, just like in real life, you trust the other stranger. Right now, if Meeras go and send a connection request to any other LinkedIn profiler, Meeras is a stranger to that person. So if somebody knocks your door and say that, will you trust me? Of course, your answer will be no. The trust on the other party happens over a period of time. It's literally in layers, and it doesn't happen overnight. It will be happening in, let's say, 15 to 20 interactions, basically, that you will be known, you will be liked, and you will be trusted. Exactly goes on LinkedIn. So this step 3, which is growing online professional network and nurturing online professional network, is very you need to be intentional with who you network with, because that's time that you spend in nurturing that relationship will help you reap benefits later on when you go and ask them for something. When you go to ask for their 10 minutes of their virtual coffee chat to give you guidance around the industry that you are aspiring to prosper in. So you have to be really very intentional and very calculated in how you approach the other person. And very important is that you don't want to ask them to review your LinkedIn profile. You don't want them to ask to go over your resume. You don't want to ask them to give you a job, or you don't want to ask them to give you any big thing, basically. So just like if a stranger knocks your door and asks for a job, you will say, excuse me, who are you? Exactly the same fate. So be in the shoes of the other person who you want to network with, and then think whether they will accept or not. But there is an intelligent way of doing it, and that's exactly what I teach. Okay, so let's move forward. So as I have just told you, to manage your expectation right in terms of time, a lot of newcomers, what they do, they start doing all the steps in a day, literally in a day, and they are expecting instant feedback that everybody will accept their connection request, everybody will accept that they will review their profile. You need to manage expectations very clearly in each of the steps. So this is what I have drafted for newcomers to manage their expectation. You need to rock on LinkedIn based on certain steps and certain time. For example, the first step is LinkedIn profile. So to have a very thoughtful and optimized LinkedIn profile, it will take at least, not a day, at least a week or a month. It depends on how much time you have. And you have to beef up at least 5 to 6 sections, and you have to write thoughtful content in it. After your home is ready, you need to create posts and articles, relevant posts and articles. For that, you need to research the job title that you're targeting, the companies that you're targeting, the industry language that you want to speak in terms of your communication. You need to do your keyword research. You need to have topics that you will be talking about, and you need to have a clear content calendar, because at the end of the day, I get a lot of questions, and I have questions coming in yesterday. What topic should I write about? And should I write posts or should I write articles? So I'm just explaining you that is the second step. The third step is, once you are ready with your credentials, or you're ready with your content which speaks that you know your stuff, then go and get the eyeballs, then go and connect with the right people. Because once you connect with the right people, they will come onto your profile, they will come onto your home. And if that's not ready, you are doing a disservice to your LinkedIn efforts. So please follow these steps and follow these expected guidelines and invest in your LinkedIn strategy, because it is a strategy. I don't want you to be aimless wanderer. Be intentional, follow steps, follow expected guidelines, and don't overwhelm and stress yourself. Because there was a newcomer who came to me and he said, I have done everything for over 3 weeks and I'm not getting offers. I'm not getting, my connection requests are not getting accepted, and I'm frustrated. So that's why I left. So when I dig deep into him, he didn't follow the steps and his expectations of time were so unrealistic. 3 weeks is nothing. Okay, so let's go into the questions. The important thing is, I'll keeping the objective in mind. You want to be perceived as a trusted authority in whatever job title, and then you want to build network intended with intended people, which will help you get that right job. So the first question which came my way was, what kind of articles should I post? Articles related to my field of specialization or of interest or of everyone. Simple question is, go back to your objective. Your objective is to be perceived as a trusted authority, let's say in brand management field in CPG industry in Canada. So if this is your objectives, you need to post, which is 1300 character, and write articles, which is a long form of content around this area. Of course, you can write articles related to the interest sets of your audience. And here your audience is basically the industry specific decision makers. So here, if you want to be perceived, if you want to land a brand manager's job in a CPG field in Canada, you need, your decision makers are again the same people who share the same interest sets. So they will be brand managers, they will be assistant brand managers, they will be hiring authorities in that brand management of CPG space. So try to write intentional content, whether it be a post or an articles, to impress the interest set of your audience. And right now your audience is basically the brand management people in CPG space. So because if you write relevant interest of your audience, they will get hooked onto your content, they will resonate with your content, and that will be the layering of connecting with you basically. So this is what I will suggest. Write everything around the interest sets of your audience, which will definitely be gelled in with your objective. And she's saying the question is interest of everyone. So yes, you should write about the interest set of your audience, which is again the industry specific decision makers. Here specifically, you can talk about not only, let's say if you want to be a brand manager in CPG space, you don't need to only just talk about, major part of content needs to be around brand management, of evolving brand management needs in pre-COVID situations, and probably intricacies and micro content. But also you can talk about let's say mental stress, how professionals are taking care of mental stress while working at home with children, how they're managing all of that. So certain professional topics, which is again relatable to your audience, to the brand manager who is reading and is at home with his kids, and how he is managing and juggling between multiple heads. So, but again, as I said, your content needs to be around the interest set of the decision maker, of the audience that you want to impress. So yes, you can talk about professional, like universal professional topics, which can be a pain point to your audience as well. But again, it just needs to be a small portion. So if you're posting 3 times in a week, probably, or 12 times in a month, your 2 to 3 posts can be around these universal professional topics, which will again needs to be appealing to your audience. Okay, the second question is, what kind of article should I put like to? Now here the asker is asking about the engagement activity. Engagement activity is when you go on other people's profile and how you engage with them. So if you put a like on other people's content, by content I mean the post and the article, if you leave a comment on other people's content, if you are sending a DM, a direct message or email to other person content, that is all engagement basically. So everything boils again back to your objective. Your engagement activity needs to be intentional in creating rapport with the right people. So because if you have 10 people that you want to create rapport with as a brand manager in the CPG industry, there are 10 people you're creating rapport with. You definitely want to go in, first of all, primarily like and engage and leave a comment with these 10 people, because as I said, relationship happens over a period of time, over a couple of interaction. So if you have more time and it's someone's content really resonates with you, of course, go and like that content as well. But whatever primary time you have should be intentional towards the objective of your primary objective. If you have more time, please, any content that you resonate with, you are open to like whatever you like in the professional world. Only to the ones of my industry or any article I may find industry. I think so I have answered that question. The third question was, some of my endorsements are in Spanish. Now I have changed everything into English. This I will be answering in the next slide. Is there any ideal time of the day to post articles? See, again, coming back to the objectives, you need to write articles, or you need to be active. Let's put it this way. You need to be active on LinkedIn when your audience is active. Because when your audience is active, it kind of, when you leave when you post a comment, or when you post an update, when your audience is active, they will immediately come and write an comment, and then you can immediately reply them. So there will be a to and fro of e-conversation happening basically. So and over a period of time, you will know your audience timing. Like for me, I can tell you from my experience, my ideal audience, which is basically primarily newcomers to Canada, pre-arrival immigrants, and small business professionals during the like pre-COVID, because before COVID was different timings. Pre-COVID, they are really, really active on 3 days, which is basically Monday mornings. They are very active. Then they are very active between Tuesdays and Thursdays, and definitely on the weekdays, they are active between 12 to 1, and in the evening, 10 p.m. time slot. So again, I cannot give you very, very average timings because it all depends on when your audience is active. Because when your audience is active, that's the right time that you should post content to have that live e-conversational feel happening. And this you will know once you start posting, at least in an average of 2 weeks. You will know that once you go and post something, you are getting likes, you are getting comments, you will know where your audience is usually active. So you can note down the days and the timings. Okay, so to the questions about the language, I specifically didn't know about that, so I went into LinkedIn Help. It's a very good platform. If you have any question about LinkedIn, go to LinkedIn Help. I'll be leaving a link with you in a post-event email, and this is a very good platform to ask any questions. So regarding the questions about languages, I researched that, and they are saying that you can select your language from privacy and settings. So what you will be doing is that you are basically, if you have a profile which is English. So, and if you want to convert it into any other language which they support, and they have mentioned all the languages. So what they are saying that you can do it from your privacy and setting the language. Also, they have put up a note that content entered by the members will always be displayed in the language in which they have wrote. So there will be a primary profile and there will be a secondary profile when you change the language. So from this note, I feel the question was that he has completely changed his profile into Spanish. Everything is coming in Spanish except for the endorsement, which is done by the second profilers. So reading this note that content entered by the original members will always display in the language in which they have wrote. So I'm assuming from this note that if your endorser has put up your endorsement in whatever he has written in, will always be displayed in that language. But again, I'm not so sure. I will very strongly suggest go to LinkedIn Help. This is the URL, and this is a curated community where other fellow members with experience on LinkedIn will answer your questions, and I leave the link over here. But again, I did another research, and this is what I got on editing your secondary language profiles. If your profile was originally in English and then you convert it into Spanish, whatever your second language, maybe they are saying again in the note that your only the summary, experience and education section can have content in the secondary language. So so again, they have very clearly specified that if you're converting into second language, these are the sections that will get converted. And for skills, endorsements, and recommendations that you have added or updated after updating, converting it into second language, after that move, if you have updated or added any after that move, then it will be reflected in secondary language profile. So I'm assuming that if before converting into Spanish, whatever have been entered originally by a second profiler will be only reflected in the language that they have entered in. Again, that's my assumptions from the notes that I got from these two slides, but I will strongly suggest put up a specific question and let LinkedIn help reply directly to you. So I'll leave this link for you in the post-event email, and you can always go and check back with the specific answer. Okay, these are again the questions sent by another newcomer to Canada. She's asking me, what advice will you give on how to decide on using post versus writing? I think so. Okay. Okay, the question here was, I think so I messed up with the question. Basically, question here was that she asked me about survival jobs, that right now in COVID-19 situation, I'm doing a survival job, and how should I reflect that on my LinkedIn profile? And of course, not only in COVID-19 situation, this happens along as a newcomer journey, that as soon as you land, you don't want to deplete your savings, so you kind of do a survival job. So some people pick days, let's say 3 days a week, and other days they do their job search, because here doing a job search itself is a full-time job. So they dedicate certain days and hours for survival jobs, and other time of the week they dedicate it for their job search, basically. So that was the question. So I'm sorry, the question is not, but the answer here is that, again, going back to the objective, you want to use your LinkedIn to be perceived as a trusted authority in a certain job title. You want to impress the people of that job title, that you in basically the space of that job title or industry that you're connecting with. So idea is that you want to support your marketability of the skill set that you want to promote, that you are the right person that they should hire. And if anything on your LinkedIn profile is not helping you market your skill set in that job title, the answer is you should not reflect or put even anywhere in your LinkedIn profile, or even talk about in your content. A smart way of doing it, that again, this is a question that is answered well, that can be answered very well by a recruiter or a talent acquisition manager, because I'm not a recruiter. But to what I have researched and what I have interacted with recruiters, that they always say that you should put up everything online or on your resume which supports your marketability for the job title that you are willing, you are basically selling your skills, credentials, and services. So you should always include that and reflect that in your online presence. So if, for example, you are a cashier at Walmart right now as a survival job, and you are targeting to start in an admin or in as a customer facing role in a bank, then definitely skills like customer interaction, cash management, administration that you are doing as a cashier as a Walmart associate will help you in that job title that you are seeking. Again, the objective, that person objective is to have the front desk associate position in a bank. So definitely that is a relevant skills or job that you can talk about on LinkedIn. But if you are targeting, let's say, a brand manager job in a CPG industry, that might not, those relevant skills might not improve your marketability. So I would suggest try to talk about the transitional gap thing. Again, this is coming from the research I have done from the talent acquisition and recruiters. They say they try to fill in this gap with independent projects, independent self-employment or consultancy project that you might be doing, any guest speaking that you might be doing, any virtual volunteering or any virtual jobs that you might be doing. We highly recommended to all newcomers to Canada that please do virtual volunteering. And during COVID-19 situation, there are so many virtual volunteering opportunities out there, and pick up relevant virtual volunteering, and that's how you can fill up this gap. So whatever you put in this transitional gap period, it needs to be relevant, which supports your skills to market yourself towards that job title. Or any learning that you are doing, think that's how, this is a beautiful example by Dean. I have put a snapshot over here. Dean is basically a tech recruiter. He got temporarily laid off from Robert Half. So how beautifully he is doing during this time, while this is a furloughed period, he has created his own podcast where he's talking about IT recruitment. And he's doing conversations with other people in that space. So he was a tech recruiter, and he's using this time to fill in a very relevant activity, and he is reflecting that in his LinkedIn profile. So such a beautiful way of supporting his next goal, which is definitely the tech job. So just wanted to share this with you. The second question was, what advice would you give on how to decide on using post and writing article? See, post and article on LinkedIn are two different things. Post is a short piece of content, just 1300 characters, and article is a long piece of content. So they both serve different purposes. So if you are writing short post, that's really what you need to write. If you write long piece of article, write an article and then reshare it as a post. So they both serve different purposes. So you can pick and choose based on how long your piece of content is. Okay, I have a lot of other questions, but due to the time, I'm going to keep it really very short. I know I have surpassed the time, but these are all relevant questions. What kind of article should I post? Write I think so I have done this. Okay, another question was, should I write open to new opportunities or looking for jobs in my headline? Headline is basically what gets reflected just below your name. It is just 120 characters. So please don't write seeking new opportunities, open to new opportunities, looking for new opportunities, because when a recruiters write the keywords, like if I want to look for social media consultant, your headlines get displayed. This is your marketability headline. So if I'm as a recruiter want to hire someone, and if I see somebody writing seeking new opportunities in social media field, I am not going to hire her. She is not telling me, she is not explaining me the value she can bring to me for the job title I'm hiring. So please write the, don't waste 120 characters. Sell the value you can bring, market yourself in front of the recruiters that will be going through your profile with other competitors. See, there are so many competitors, Michelle, Farouk, Beverly, Nixon. If I am not convinced with these 120 characters, I'm not going to come on your profile. So please don't waste this real estate. I call this a real estate. How you can work around and tell your recruiters that you are looking for a job, please enable this job open to job opportunities feature. It's in the interest set of the settings. So enable this. This is a way of working around and telling the recruiters and coming in recruiter search that you are looking for jobs. So this was one thing, and please enable your LinkedIn profile settings as Canada. If Canadian recruiters are looking for professionals in Canada, you will not come in their search if it's the industry, the country is not Canada. So these are the steps. Step one, you need to have very well thought out LinkedIn profile. These are all sections that you need to beef up. Second is that you need to write relevant posts. Third is that you need to network. I have told you that I offer online coaching programs, and the one that I'm going live with is on June 21st. And the first course that I'm offering, it's around content creation. And in this content creation course, I will also be talking about optimizing LinkedIn profile. The second course is around LinkedIn networking, how you can be intentional networker for better visibility. And I'll be talking about hidden gems that can bring you in front of right people and opportunities, and how to write customized communication, because we upset the person we are knocking the door on by asking for something, for asking for job or 10 minutes of virtual coffee chat. They will ignore you completely if you're not doing it very tactfully. I teach that all process and how you do that. So as I'm going to quickly finish this off, you will be getting the replay of this presentation. I'm offering a 50% coupon code for both of my courses. It's starting live from June 9th. So it will be great for me to continue the conversation there. I'll be sharing a blueprint basically with you on how you can do that. You can connect with me on any of the social media channels, and I am going to stop sharing this, and now I will invite my guest speaker today, Vishal. Vishal, if you can unmute yourself and come on board. Vishal is basically one of my students from my online cohort. I have already done 3 batches from my online program, and he has been a star student, I have to say. Why I say star student, Vishal showed his eagerness. He connected with me on LinkedIn. Then we had couple of interactions. He developed that rapport with me, and then he came into my online course. He learned the intentional blueprint, and he is implementing each and every step, and he is getting the results. Just like I think so previous 1 month he has been doing it, and he is getting job inquiries. Like Canadian professionals are sending him job inquiries while he is there in India. He hasn't landed, but his intentional LinkedIn presence and connecting with the right people, his LinkedIn home profile is completely clean. He's creating content, relevant content. So he got, till now, I think so, he got 2 job offer, 2 not offers, job inquiries, which is a big thing. Secondly, he is getting a lot of compliments around from industry specific people around the job titles he's targeting for. So I see this as a very, very big win. So Vishal, welcome over here. I am going to ask you for quick 3 questions. And definitely you are walking the same path with as a lot of newcomers and pre-arrival immigrants over here. So I would like to know, first of all, briefly, if you can tell me a little bit about your objective of using LinkedIn, and we'll take forward from there. A little bit about you and your objective of being on LinkedIn.
First of all, thanks a lot, Khatija, for inviting me for this wonderful session. Hello, friends. I'm a newcomer like you, and I'm a brand manager with 8 years of multifaceted experience, having handled the category marketing and sales role in the largest CPG companies. I've done my MBA in sales and marketing, and I'm passionate about building brands, which led to the market share for my brand to increase from 18 to 27%. I'm known for my leadership and interpersonal skills, and currently also I'm looking for a brand manager role with the CPG company. The intention of my LinkedIn profile as of now is to explore for various job opportunities in Canada, building meaningful connections, and creating a personal brand for myself.
Great, super. Thank you so much, Vishal. A little bit about your personal story as well. Like, how did you land on LinkedIn, and how you thought about becoming an intentional LinkedIn content creator, and how it is like helping you. So a little bit about you.
Okay. See, the point is, I was working with ITC as a brand manager, and in the month of March, I left my job, and I had my flight on 11th of April, but unfortunately, because of COVID-19, I was not able to travel. So what I thought, because I already had started my journey to come to Canada, I was not demotivated. I explored what exactly needs to be done for me to be successful in Canadian market. And what I found, though I was having LinkedIn, I had a basic template. To be very frank with you, I had filled all the details when I was in India. Like right now, also I'm in India. I had filled all the details, and luckily for one of the companies, which is PepsiCo, on my CV, the recruiter saw my LinkedIn profile, and she contacted me, and I cracked the interview. This is just to give you an example. Even though LinkedIn is not that relevant, I feel, in India, but still I got a call. This is my LinkedIn profile, which was not that updated, and I was not focused because I was applying via the normal job portals.
Mhm.
But then also I got a call, and once I started my journey, I realized that LinkedIn is very important if I have to crack a good job. By good job, I mean whatever is my dream job, to land in Canada. So I started brushing up what exactly needs to be done. And what I found, the key ingredients were missing in my profile, which is a good profile photo, which looks professional, then the headline. And I was not aware like what kind of headline should be there, because I was new and I didn't give it a thought that okay, headline is also that important. Then I understood how what keywords have to be put in the headline, What about summary? How I have to design the summary? What about the skill section? What about the recommendation? What about the volunteering experience? I thought on each and every perspective. And right now, also, I would not say that my profile is 100% because, as Khatija has pointed out, it's a journey. You learn and you implement. And that is what I'm doing. But I can definitely say that it's in the good condition. And whatever steps from here I'm taking, it will only help me to grow further.
Great. Thank you so much, Vishal. It's a very relatable journey that, I can speak this very confidently that over here in Canada, recruiters are on LinkedIn to hunt for talent. They are there, and you speaking out that you are getting opportunities, you are getting at least an expression of interest, let's say, not an offer, but an expression of interest for, and as you shared with me earlier, that you got expression of interest from people that you never applied for jobs, and they are considering you for certain role, which when they had there in mind, and when they land onto your profile, they thought that you can be a good fit, and then they put up an expression of interest. So LinkedIn is a really relevant platform. It's their platform that you need to be to get the right eyeballs, basically. So Vishal, I just wanted to know about your journey of being an aimless wanderer on LinkedIn to being an intentional, like how did you do that, and what were, how would you describe that journey, and what benefits are you reaping?
Okay. As I told you that I started building my LinkedIn profile, and I was also attending a lot of webinars like this one, wherein I have my friends attending. So like I was contacting a lot of people, and what I got to know is that you have to network.
Okay.
And I was only hearing that networking is very important if you have to land a very good job in Canada. So because I had a basic profile and I thought of connecting with people here and there, I was randomly connecting with people, but I had a structured approach. To be very frank with you, I followed a structured approach. I was devoting some amount of time daily out of my schedule, and I was trying to reach out to people who were in Canada or who are in Canada, and I was trying to join relative groups like related to my domain, which is sales and marketing. And I was checking my news feed, and I was checking the second and third degree connection on the activities, what they're doing. And if I found something which was very much related to my domain, I got into it. And thanks to you, last month I took your session, and you gave me a lot of insights on LinkedIn, how I can have a structured approach, how I can further streamline my activities. And to give you an example, as we were talking about the content on LinkedIn, hardly less than 1% people, they create content. And earlier on, like the people present here, I was very much afraid, like what I have to post and how I should start. So my tip for all the fellow mates is that you can start by liking and commenting initially, like on the leader's profile related to your domain, or your friend's profile whom you think is posting some good content, or you can reshare his post, and then you can progress from there. As you had taught that you have to create the content, like it has to be a method, like there has to be a hook, then you have to choose the relevant topic, and then it has to have a call to action, basically to have engagement. So I tried that approach, and I learned from the content challenge and the network challenge classes, whatever you have taught. I tried to implement whatever we had discussed, and slowly, as like you have pointed out, it's been only a month, and I started getting results, and I was very happy to see that my post started trending on LinkedIn with the hashtag which I wanted. Though I posted multiple hashtags, but I, being the brand manager, I had posted one of the hashtags as brand management. And I was really happy to see that the post is trending with the relevant hashtag, which is brand management and not success habits, because brand management will give more weightage to my profile. So that was one of the experience, and which gave me confidence that I should continue with this, even though at times we get lost in between. So what I decided that every week I'll post something.
Okay.
Then next week again I posted. The other post also trended,
Okay.
and I was again very happy.
Great.
And I remember on a day I posted two content, and both the posts had trended with the relevant hashtag, which was CPG and again brand management. So I
Okay.
was super excited.
So
And
I'll cut you short, Vishal, again, shortage of time. What
yeah,
I feel from Vishal, that you got really intentional with what topics you want to write around. Again, going back
yeah,
to how you want to be perceived as a brand manager in a CPG field in Canada. You played around with certain features which were friendly with LinkedIn algorithm, which you learned in my course. And you applied that and you got a trending hashtag post. So for the audiences over here, just to let you know, because LinkedIn is again a cookie cutter social media website, you need to play around with the features which are friendly with the algorithm to come in front of the right audiences and the opportunities. So when a post gets trended on a particular hashtag, it is not only displayed as a notification to your first, second and third degree connection, but to all LinkedIn profilers who are following that hashtags. So in a way, if Vishal's post trended on hashtag brand management, that will go as a notification to all who are following that hashtags, wherever they might be. So in a way, following a methodical and intentional and working around with the features of LinkedIn, he is coming in front of right audiences, which is in brand management field, in the CPG field, and he is getting their attention. So that's all about that. You need to be intentional on LinkedIn. You need to play around with the features of LinkedIn to come in front of the right audiences, which elevates your career. So Vishal, my last question to you, any message that you want to give to all the like-minded pre-arrival immigrants and newcomers to Canada from your journey? Any message, it can be related to LinkedIn or otherwise.
so my message will be that we have to stay motivated and strong during these tough times, and especially for LinkedIn, we have to nurture relationships, and we have to create a brand for ourselves, and we have to give value rather than seeking value. First of all, we have to give value, and as Khateja had pointed out, it shouldn't be like that, because people like you and me, we generally start, okay, we ping somebody and we say, okay, please review my CV, because generally we start with a CV, and then we go on to the cover letter and then the LinkedIn profile. So whenever we are pinging somebody, it shouldn't be the value ask initially. It has to be, first of all, who are you and what kind of value you are trying to give. You can start with a post, you try to engage with that person so that some rapport is established. To give you a recent example, Khatija, just allow me a minute.
Sure.
I'll not name that person. Last week only, like there was a brand manager and I definitely wanted to connect with her. So as I told you, I am very active on my LinkedIn news feed and I keep on exploring my second and third degree connections. So I found this contact and I wanted the engagement because that person was of my field and the same industry. So what I did, I started liking her post, commenting on her post. It's not a simple comment like thanks for sharing or some general stuff like very good post. It was a meaningful post, meaningful reply on her post, that what I felt, what knowledge I'm trying to share. And then luckily I got an opportunity to attend her webinar, which was again on brand management. And after that, I mailed to her because I got her mail ID. And now she has started liking my post. So which is a big achievement. That's what.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Vishal. This is exactly what I teach, and I think so. I was fortunate enough to come across with Vishal in my course as well in other webinars. So the important thing, as Vishal pointed out as well, and which I teach as well, that LinkedIn has certain etiquettes, and if you don't want to be rejected, you need to follow the LinkedIn etiquettes. And basics of it is that Canadian professional doesn't want to be asked for jobs or any big ask. Review my resume, give me 10 minutes of virtual coffee chat, review my LinkedIn profile. These are very big asks for a LinkedIn professional who is super busy right now at his home, taking care of 9 to 5 job than his. Why he should give that 5 minutes of that important piece of his life to you. It might sound simple for you to send out that email, but it's not easy for him to give that time to a stranger. For that, definitely basics of anything, you need to show interest that you are here to help him out. You need to give value to him over a period of 2 to 3 weeks, which Vishal did beautifully. And over a period of different interaction, he built up that repo, and from the examples that I am getting, he's getting the benefit. He got the attention of the right person that will help him later on with his goal. For example, his ask can be that, can I have a 10 minute of a coffee chat? But when he will ask that value ask, at what time in relationship matters a lot. He cannot do that on the very first day. He can do it now. He might have to wait, and he would know when he has to do it, and tactfully, again, with beautiful piece of customized communication. Again, if all of you are interested in learning from me, because I'm getting a lot of requests that you need counseling, I do this online course which I was talking about previously. It's a group coaching program kind of a thing where I will teach you plus coach you, and it's starting from June 29th. So anywhere from the world, like Vishal is in India and I taught him, so anywhere from the globe can be a part of this. And these will be 2 classes basically. One first course is about LinkedIn content creation and profile. It is from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Canadian time, and the second course is about LinkedIn networking, where again I teach a recap of LinkedIn profile. That is from 11:30 to 12:30. So back to back 2 classes if you enroll in both the courses. I'm also offering 2-in-1 bundle price on my, so I'll send out the 50% off link to you in a post event email with all other resources. Again, this webinar is no strings attached, no judgment attached. It's up to you if you feel that you want to need some guidance. But if you feel that there is a lot of free content out there and you can go it on your own, please go ahead, do it on your own. Idea is for me to inculcate the mindset that this is how LinkedIn works and this is how you can reap benefits. If you can do it on your own, I'm all for it. You can follow my free content as well. But if you feel that you need that free guidance and coaching, because again, Vishal, when he used to come, or any other student, they had specific questions where they used to get stuck in their journey. I used to give them homeworks. So I used to coach them around those customized situations. But so you can go your way, or you can take any other online course. It's up to you. But idea is, please use LinkedIn intentionally around its etiquettes. So I'll now go into, thank you so much, Vishal, for coming in last moment. I really appreciate it, and I wish you all the best, and we'll be in touch, of course, on LinkedIn. Okay, okay, now I'm taking this question. Only one question came. Great, I think so. I answered the questions from earlier question which came to me by other immigrants. Here it is. Sudhir is asking, can you give us an idea on how much time and cost it takes to register for our courses or in structuring our LinkedIn profile? Can you please send us the details? Yes, Sudhir, all the details will be coming your way. But to quickly share, I'll share the screen over here. These are the 2 courses I offer. Okay, these are the two courses that I offer. The first course is LinkedIn content creation. These are the outcomes. I will be telling you, as a newcomer to Canada, one of our pain points is that we nullify our, basically we don't take pride of our international experience because of the no Canadian experience myth. Again, no Canadian experience means that you do not have experience of working with the Canadian consumers, Canadian communication, Canadian culture. It's something like that. If you want to apply for a content writer job, there are certain lingos and there are certain jokes, there are certain phrases which are highly acceptable here in Canadian market. So you need to train yourself in that before you will be hired. So that's what no Canadian experience is. For that, best way to do is to overcome that through virtual volunteering. And I have 2 of my recently landed newcomers to Canada. They started virtual volunteering after my course, and they have not only building on Canadian experience, because virtual volunteering is considered Canadian experience. So this can be a perfect way to fill in that gap. But again, coming back to over here, is that idea is that how you can beautifully weave in your international experience to exhibit your authority through content creation. I will be telling you a formula for this. You will learn who to speak to. We will identify LinkedIn profiles interest, because you need to create content around the interest of your audience set. You will be creating social media posts around the job descriptions. I will tell you how you can basically keyword research. I will tell you a process of how you can vet different job description to find out the keywords around which you will be creating content. And last but not the least, content on LinkedIn is not only text, it's visual too. So I will share some beginner apps on which you can work around to create that professional visuals basically. Second is basically courses around this course is from 10 a.m. till 11 a.m. And it will run for 4 days starting from June 29th. Second course is LinkedIn networking. It's all about connecting with the right people in an intentional way. So I will tell you some of the best practices of LinkedIn, who you can connect with using LinkedIn features. As I said, you need to be friendly with LinkedIn algorithm. I will tell you ways on how you can do it over a period of time in a very, very organic way, and at what point in time you should go for a value ask and what that value ask should be. I will share customized communication scripts with you, what you can write in connection request when you're sending that in mail for that value ask. All of that is a part of this course. This is again also starting from 29th of June. The first course is from 10 to 11. The second course is from 11:30 to 12:30 ETD, which is Canadian time. So the pricing and everything and the 50% off coupon will be coming your way in the post event email. So the first course is, I think so after 50%, 14.5 Canadian dollars. The second course is LinkedIn networking is 19.5 Canadian dollars. And if you're going for 2-in-1 bundle price, it's $29. Worth of what you will be getting. And you have listened to Vishal. Anyways, as I said, no strings attached. I was just answering to these questions. Important thing is, please be very intentional with your LinkedIn presence. Dedicate your time, energy, and resources, and manage your expectations very realistically so that you don't get frustrated. So that was the whole idea of today. Hey Khatija, would it be possible to answer my question which I emailed? Amritjeet, I think so. You sent me your resumes and you asked me to go over your resumes and give you suggestions. I am not giving one-on-one customized review of resume. That is something that you have to connect with me separately through a paid one-on-one consultation. That I will be happy to go over your resume and advise you on how you can redraft your LinkedIn profile based on certain resume objectives. So okay, that was not you. So what was your question? If you can just write it over here, Amarjeet, probably I can give an answer, or otherwise if you are not able to share that publicly, I can you can ping me on LinkedIn, because I had a lot of questions. Okay, okay, you have right now, how can we find out which of our connections has most connections? Say I have 1,000 connections. Is there some figure which I can know the number of connections or of my connections? Basically, what I understand, you want to find out the number of people that the other profiler has. I don't know what is your reason of asking this to me, but when you are using LinkedIn, I would suggest not to go into number games. It's all about relationship building. You should concentrate on connecting with few people rather than a lot of people, and doing quality networking through certain actions, because what I teach, I'll teach you what actions you should take in a week, and those are quite number of actions that if you are doing even that with 10 profilers, it will take up 3 to 4 or even 5 hours in a week. So I would say go for quantity, not quality. But yes, you can know about the connections. If like, I'm not going too much in detail because the time is constrained. If you go on any of the connections LinkedIn profile, you will find out there 500 plus connections. Specifically, you cannot, I don't think so, you can know specifically the number of connections each LinkedIn profiler has. Probably you might need to, I don't know if that based on the viewability that the person allows, probably you can go into their connections field and see, and probably you need to manually count them, but I don't think so there is any other way around. But again, I would suggest again that keep it quality networking rather than quantity networking, and don't think about numbers on LinkedIn. As I said and Vishal said, it's all about repo building, and it's not about numbers. It's all about repo building. It's about all about creating professional impact around the interest of your audiences. That's how people get attracted to you, on how you can help them basically. Second question is around, if we have got some accolades in our job, shall we list it in the featured section in our profile or under the job? Okay, featured section is just a recently introduced section where you can feature your post, where you can feature any web link, that where you can feature any article, where you can feature any kind of link, or any kind of, you can upload any kind of a video or any article. So I would suggest any of these, whether it be post, article, video, or even link, it should support your objective basically.